Hi, and welcome to our health show here at Kinesiology Zone. My name is Siobhan, and I'm broadcasting live from my clinic here in Westport, County Mayo in the west of Ireland. And thankfully the snow has all gone. It's a bit miserable and cold, but sure, it is December, and we're delighted to be looking at helping Christmas to be healthier and happier, and taking some of the stress out of what can be a stressful time for a lot of people. Whether you're hosting or whether you're attending, there's always lots of things to do, and I'm getting to experience the hosting side. I've got 14 coming for dinner, and while I've mostly attended and done Christmas Eves before, this is the first time I'm hosting Christmas, so I'm with you on the stress side of things. So delighted to kind of be looking at some different ways in which kinesiology can help to make a difference to your lives and to preparing for Christmas. I think it's we're going to be looking at our traditional MCPE approach. So we're going to be looking at stress. We're going to be looking at diet and also physical side of things as well, in terms of not just slumping in front of the TV and watching lots of movies, but also, getting out for walks and things like that, and just helping to remember self-care. Often we have a lot of expectations around Christmas. We have, memories as kids from the magic of Christmas and these expectations that things have to be perfect. And
there's no picture showing up. I think we're having a technical difficulty.
We're having a technical difficulty, are we? There we go. Am I on live now?
It'll take a few minutes. It'll take a few minutes to show
Okay.
an hour. Yeah.
There we go. Hi, everybody. We'll start again. My name is Siobhan, and sorry for the blank screen there initially. Not sure what happened there. But here I am in Westport with my Santa hat on, Christmas hat on, and very much looking forward to Christmas. So to keep going, we have, when we're preparing for Christmas, we often have a lot of expectations around what Christmas is for clients, and for clients, for people. Is everything all right behind you?
Yeah.
So it's all go today here in Kinesiology Zone. So stress and Christmas. It is something that we're all familiar with. And I think that one of the things that we can do is to help prepare for a relaxed Christmas is to be prepared. And so one of the things that I've done this year is made a long list of everything that I'm going to need, and I'm going to trust that it will all be fine. Everyone will be fed. Everyone will get what they're looking for. And also to be really grateful that we're able to do this as a family together. So everyone has expectations around what Christmas means, and sometimes we're very concerned that it's going to be, that it has to be perfect. And I think that's one of the first things I would say is to just relax. No one's having a perfect Christmas. What is a perfect Christmas? For some people, we always laugh in our house that we don't like trifle. We're now a custard family. We don't eat. We never eat trifle, and yet for some people that means that. That means that for some people that would be disaster for Christmas if they came to our house because trifle's not on the menu. So it's being open to other ideas, and especially if you are having a Christmas that is different this year. Sometimes people are traveling, they're away, they're with his loved ones that have passed away. And so there's an emptiness, or there's some traditions that sometimes might be poignant. And so I think it's nice to either create new traditions, to keep up with the traditions, and to mention the person who you are missing. And we'd love to know what kind of your suggestions are around when you've got people who you're missing around the table. And I think that's we'd love to hear and share your ideas. So feel free to comment below, and we'll share your comments as well. Okay, so some of these health tips are going to be health tips for anything that you do, and sleep is one of those things. And it can be really easy to go, okay, I'm nice and relaxed now. I don't need to go to bed early, and just want to relax in front of the TV, and we watch more, and then we skimp on our sleep. But sleep is a really important part of our routine. And it's also very important if you want to not gain weight during Christmas. Sleep and lack of sleep can pile on the pounds. And so while you're not actually eating calories, of course, we'll deal with that in a little bit, but sleep is a really important part of the rest and recuperation. Sometimes this is a break that people get for the first time. The run up to Christmas can be stressful, but then the time between Christmas and New Year's can be a quiet time. And so it's nice to not just sleep in all the time, but also maybe get out for some exercise. I don't think restorative rest means also getting out and doing something different, as opposed to just sitting in front of the TV and in front of the fire, as nice as that can be. And if we've already had our snow this year, maybe we're not going to have snow and that excuse to hibernate. If the weather is nice, then I think it's a really nice idea to get outside and to kind of keep to a routine where you do sleep in, but also you get up early sometimes as well, and getting to bed early can be really make a difference. And so another thing about Christmas is alcohol. And obviously, if you are going to be drinking, some people have had November off. They have a dry November, and that's always a nice thing to do, to give your body a rest, to give your liver and your kidneys, and gives that a little bit of a rest. So then when it comes back to reintroducing alcohol, it can be easy to consume a lot over the Christmas, whether it's Christmas Day, Christmas parties, get-togethers and things like that. So one of the things that you can do is support the liver with basically drinking water is going to be beneficial. Essentially what happens when you drink alcohol, the body has to deal with that, but it can only deal with about a unit or so every hour. And so while the hour, if you say you had two drinks or 2 units or 3 units or 4 units in an hour, then what can happen is that alcohol is kind of going around in your bloodstream, waiting to be processed by the liver. And so just puts a little bit of extra stress when the body's also dealing with an awful lot of other things and foods and things like that on Christmas Day. So one of the things I wanted to show you was how to support the liver through kinesiology. We have some lymphatic reflexes that we use, and I'm going to have to stand up a little bit here, because basically it's on the 5th and 6th rib, on the right hand side of the body. Okay, so if I stand up, it's right 5th and 6th rib. You're going to rub just under the breast, where you are going to rub sideways, going out from the center outwards to the the lymphatic system. Lymph nodes are up to under the armpits. You're kind of going in that direction. So that's really good for kind of supporting the liver. If it's tender, then you definitely need to be working those points. But the lymphatic system helps to feed and clean the body, and so definitely beneficial when we're over imbibing. Saying that, heartburn is another issue that sometimes people can suffer from, particularly because it's a lot of rich food, a lot of extra foods that we wouldn't normally be eating, a lot of sugar and things like that. So if you do get any heartburn, then 5th and 6th on the left-hand side. So the stomach is more to the left in the body, the liver is more to the right. And so those lymphatic reflexes are exactly the same position, 5th and 6th rib, one on the left and one on the right. And so those can help with, as we said, heartburn, as well as working with the liver and supporting the liver. So every morning, every evening, no harm in giving those a rub to help those areas. Of course, our skin, we want to look nice and fresh. And when we're eating a lot of carbohydrates or drinking a lot of alcohol, then our skin can suffer. So some of the tips that we've got together here is that you're going to be, sometimes people have lots of time. Once Christmas is over, you got that break. It's a nice time to be able to, maybe give yourself a facial of some sort, even homemade. And what is very nice is to use coconut oil and apply that directly to the skin. It's really, really good for your skin, whether on the face, but also on the body as well. Also, cooking with it and eating it is all very healthy for you as well. Plenty of water. Anything you can do to support the body to work to reduce the poisons that we're putting in to the body, and vitamin C as well. Vitamin C helps support our collagen, which of course is a key component of our skin. So I know that a lot of the time we're thinking about how our calories go mad over Christmas, and it doesn't have to mean that we put on a huge amount of weight. I think they say that the average is maybe 5 to 7 pounds, and I think calories that are gained in that period, in a short period of time, would also a short period of time also can be lost quite easily. So it's not like it has magically transitioned into fat. It's mostly water weight and water into the fat cells. So in order to help reduce that, drinking water is really useful. And also enjoy Christmas. Enjoy the Christmas day. Don't be worrying about all the pounds you're putting on. Chew your food well. Eat mindfully. Really be present with the meal, not worrying about your thoughts. And that can mean that you get all the joy and the happiness from Christmas, and then you can just get back on track. It's like enjoy the celebrations, feel the love and connection time that you have with your family and friends, and don't be worried, because you can also reverse that afterwards. So some of the things that we would do is maybe not eat breakfast, or not eat some maybe sugary things just by itself. Enjoy your dessert after your main course, so that you don't feel deprived. But also recognize that, it doesn't have to be an eating fest the whole time. Enjoy it when it's around meal times, and then, not sitting in front of the TV and eating loads of chocolates, one after the other and mindlessly. If you're going to eat them, enjoy them for what they are, and you'll get more out of them then as well. Mindlessly eating stuff, we're not even enjoying it. We're not even getting the benefit of how that feels and tastes in our mouth. So eating mindfully is going to help as well. You can also sometimes there's an option for maybe some healthy nuts instead of sugary treats or crisps. And dark chocolate also will satiate better, and also has that really important magnesium in it too. That often accompanies cravings. If we have cravings for sweet things, sometimes it can be lack of chromium or lack of magnesium too. So some of the things that we wrote down on our list of what to cover was calories. While we're not a calorie focused in our calories, it's easy to consume calories, but it's not always necessary when you're wanting to lose weight that it's about calories. It's more about the kind of insulin response, and those things happen to go alongside, sugary foods, and that helps to stimulate weight gain. But it is worth noting that some things are very high in calories, and so that if you are having a slice of Christmas cake, then it's worth knowing that it, depending, I suppose, on your cake. But we found a reference that one finger of Christmas cake, I don't know how much you like how big a size of finger of a slice of cake you would have, but it's saying here that 200 calories for a slice of Christmas cake. Now, I love Christmas cake. I could consume the whole thing. So if that was all I ate during the day, then that's probably very filling too. Gingerbread men. Those cookies, they're about 220 calories as well. Did we find out how much the calories were in trifle?
Well, the Marks and Spencer's one for 100 grams was around 400 calories.
400 calories for about 100 grams. That's probably like 2 portions, maybe. So maybe 200 calories as well. So while we don't want you to be calorie focused, it is worth kind of being aware that if you go overboard one day, then you just balance it out, the next day. Maybe you don't have breakfast, maybe you have more savory foods, get your taste buds back to savory, and also enjoy it as you're doing it, as you're eating it. Okay. All right. So then we come on to kind of like family stuff and the emotions and things like that. And it can be difficult when, as we said, people have passed away or are no longer part of the family, and so it's important, whether you've got elderly relatives or neighbors, that sometimes it's even if you smile at a stranger and wish them happy Christmas, it can really make their day. And so something as simple as that is just reaching out to other people. But as we said, if you have any suggestions that you've made, or new traditions that you're going to do this year to acknowledge the person who's passed, and if you want to how you involve them in the day, if that's what you want to do. But focus really on being present and being grateful for the country that we live in, the family and friends that we have around us. Board games, is to not let the TV take the focus of the day. We get distracted by our phones. Maybe it's a day to put them to one side and take some photographs, but they don't have to be shared on social media straight away. Being mindful and of distractions can be a nice thing to make sure that you're really enjoying the day and you're present for the day. Because these days as we get older, life changes, kids grow up, and it's nice to be creating memories on these days. I'm sure you all have memories of special presents that you got as a child, or special things that happened. We were at my brother's a few years ago, and the time just disappeared. We had great fun, playing. There was these huge playing cards, about an A4 size playing card, and we played that Bruce Forsyth game of Higher and Lower. And it was just a really simple little game, but it was so enjoyable. And, nobody looked at their phones. There was no TV on. It was just family together, which was really nice. And that was a lovely memory to have. So we have I covered everything? We've done skin and self-care and alcohol and, carbohydrates, what to eat. Carbohydrates are a big problem during Christmas. Hi Deirdre, happy Christmas to you too. And so protein is good, and then basically the rest of it is really around carbohydrates. So we've got potatoes. We love our roast potatoes. All our root vegetables, they're on the more carbohydrate dense side of things. So, but eat more vegetables and less potatoes. Enjoy your turkey or ham or spiced beef or duck or steak or whatever you're having. I was talking to a client of mine and I said, oh, you're doing turkey, and she said, oh, no, we do a steak, fillet steak. And I was like, oh, that's a really nice idea to do something different. It doesn't have to be the same tradition every year. And I think that's what good. So chew food well, particularly if you get heartburn, because we're eating richer food, or we have sometimes food sensitivities can be showing up. And so I've just got a couple of suggestions in terms of food digestive enzymes. We've got different ones. You can go to the health food shop and just get something like HCL. This one, Pro 3, is one that I use. It helps to break down gluten. So, often that's going to be something that for people who have food sensitivities to wheat and things like that, that can help. Zinc is also great for the immune system. So a lot of people sometimes feel that they get a bit run down at Christmas. And so zinc can help. That also helps us to digest our foods and break down or stimulate our digestive enzymes. And then, I mentioned magnesium earlier as well. That's just one that I particularly like, citrate malate. And then chromium is another one that I like as well for balancing blood sugar. So we are, gosh, we're 10 to 1. So have we got some questions?
Yeah, we got some questions in on Facebook over the last few days.
Okay.
So here we go.
All right. So, and sometimes we overlook the beautiful spices and herbs that we use at Christmas, like for mulled wine. Yes, absolutely. Mulled wine definitely can make some really, really nice, herbs and spices in there too. Yeah, nice. Thanks, Rosie. All right, so questions. Okay, so I know I eat a lot more at Christmas, but I'm normally healthy, but I suffer really bad heartburn after eating. Okay, yeah, common thing that's we're eating more than we, as a society, we tend to see Christmas as a celebratory time, and it's associated with eating more. Some people, some traditions have fasting when they're celebrating things, but we tend to eat, and so yeah, we often are eating more things that can then create heartburn. So remember I mentioned about the lymphatic reflex. So if we work on the lymphatic reflex on the on the left-hand side for the stomach, that can help to ease out heartburn. Digestive enzymes would also be really beneficial. You tend to eat some food, swallow down a digestive enzyme. Sometimes you take them beforehand. Follow whatever the instruction says. But that can really help to ease out the heartburn. Also, make sure that you're drinking some water, because water is also part of the is needed in digestion. And also not to sit down and slump over. We tend to sit in a very slumped position when we are in in relaxed mode. And so if we're sitting down and slumped like that, it can cause a difficulty to the top of the stomach. So the top of the stomach, on top of the stomach sits the diaphragm, but through the diaphragm comes the esophagus. And so that area can get a bit weakened, particularly if you also maybe have any hernias or hiatus hernias, things like that, can be a part of a reason that sometimes people have heartburn. So definitely getting worth being checked out for that. Okay, so the next one is I end up getting the flu during my Christmas holidays. How can I avoid this happening and ruining my Christmas break? Yeah, I think that's really a sign of when people are stressed, that, we come to a break and finally the body can go, oh, thank goodness for that. And the adrenals relax and aren't maybe being pressurized so much. And it's basically giving the body an opportunity to get rid of whatever germs or whatever have been floating around. So it's a common enough thing that when people relax who are adrenally stressed, they get ill when they stop. So maybe sometimes it's summer holidays, sometimes it's during Christmas. So, and also then naturally we have a lot less vitamin D coming from the sun, or being made in the body from the sun. So vitamin D can be a nice thing to boost up on. Vitamin C, again, as well as some zinc, because again, zinc is useful for breaking down the digestive or stimulating the digestive juices and the gastric juices and the enzymes, and so that you're less, sluggish. And so our gut is very important to our overall health. And obviously we're going to be bombarding it with a lot more than it normally has to contend with. So lighter foods when you can, enjoy the heavier foods when they're appropriate, and then also eat lighter foods, maybe supplement, and then take the break. The body needs a bit of a rest, so it's definitely well worth catching up on sleep. Adrenally, it's really good for the body to sleep, and whether that means you sleep in a little bit is definitely worth doing that. Responding to your body's needs, having the Epsom salt baths, taking some self-care. Alcohol is kind of good for getting over flus and things like that. But also exercise. Getting out in the fresh air can have a really good impact on our overall sense of well-being as well. And then the last question then is, I sometimes feel down as soon as Christmas is over. What can I do? I understand that too. It's sometimes when I've been doing a lot of teaching, we do teaching in large groups, and sometimes I can naturally feel like a down afterwards because you've been giving out a lot of energy. So for those of you who are like you're giving out a lot of energy for wanting Christmas to be good, and you're preparing and lots of work, and you haven't maybe taken some self-care, some time for yourself, then it's a really good idea to factor that in beforehand. If you know that you naturally feel down afterwards, is to, kind of really appreciate where you are, to appreciate every moment and recognize that it is just part of when you've been, busy and maybe not had so much me time, that it's a natural thing. And it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily go down and depressed, that it's just a natural cycle. If you go up and you're having a great time, then, you're going to benefit from the quiet time afterwards. And hopefully that will help. So we have a Christmas gift guide. I don't know, Gloria, if you can put in the link into the comments below. But it's live on the page now on the website, and so or if you can just tell me what the link is, if you can give me that. What we have is some ideas about I know it's only like 10 more days to Christmas, so mad shopping will be taking place now. So there's some ideas about some gifts that you can make yourself, some links to our taster events. If you're interested in being healthy in the new year and you're going to just go and enjoy Christmas, but you want to take care of your health in the new year, and you want to learn for yourself like what you could do, like all these points that we do, all these emotional de-stressing points, we didn't get to that today, to really mean that you can survive and thrive during Christmas, you thrive through the new year, and really understand how good you can feel when you're doing something that you love. We also have, I don't know if we've got this on the gift guide, but this is a little introductory guide to kinesiology. So those are also available. If you've got someone in your life that's considering our training, then this is a nice little booklet to give them. But we also have if you have some family members who are doing our courses, we have these are available to purchase, and they are the little hoodies. There you can see we've got our logo on the front and a little saying on the back, but we also have a t-shirt as well that are available to purchase. If you have family members who are doing our courses, I'm sure they would love that too. We have our balanced health courses starting in the spring, and we have an extra discount code for up until Christmas Eve, I think it is, until Christmas. So an extra €97 off for any courses that are starting in the spring, and so that's a nice little discount as well. So all the details are on the in the gift guide. So any other questions or any
That's everything.
That's everything.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for joining us today, and I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. And the two girls from the team, we've got Gloria and Natasha in the background. Oh, you got your bubbles. You got a bubble. So happy Christmas everybody, and thanks for joining us, and look forward to seeing you in January on our next health show. Bye for now.